10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3.
Yeah, I got 9.
In less than 5 years, the Colorado Army National Guard has built one of the best marksmanship programs in the world. In March 2021, their small arms team beat out every other Army unit in the nation in short-range shooting. 2 weeks later, they sent 2 snipers down to Fort Benning, Georgia to compete against 26 other 2-member teams from across the U.S. military. I'm U.S. Army Captain Remington Henderson, and I followed the team during the competition as they strove to beat their record from 2019, where they took 2nd overall. The team consisted of 2 soldiers from 1st Battalion, 157th Infantry Mountain Regiment, Specialist Max Miller and Sergeant Tristan Ivkov, and their coach, Staff Sergeant Micah Fulmer.
We got Team Colorado here. One of the perks of doing these comps several times is just kind of getting a feel for what we use on a daily regimen and what we don't.
Yeah, Sergeant Ivkov and I worked together 4 years now. He pushes me, I push him.
Rolling.
Day 1 kicked off with an 8-mile land navigation course while carrying gear that weighed up to 60 pounds. Afterward, there was a series of events that focused on close and long-distance marksmanship, but the most difficult shooting event of the day was Heartbreaker.
We're doing the right thing here, but we're going to be mostly on our own this event. Stuff we'll be talking about is like, hey, make sure we have the correct elevation dial on our skillets for the yard lines, and that we're just kind of doing the right thing individually. I won't be spotting for him, he won't be spotting for me.
You will move to the back side of the 1,000-yard berm, which is this berm right in front of me. The back side.
Heartbreaker required running down a 1,000-meter range and stopping along the way to shoot in various positions before continuing. They had to battle then their racing hearts and unstable shooting platforms such as the ladder.
So the way is down there, so we were pretty tired, and it was just difficult because only one person could really shoot off it at once.
The challenge came in part due to the fact that they had limited time for each portion of the event, meaning that the faster they ran, the more time they could focus on shooting the targets, but it also meant fighting a faster heart rate.
It's probably the most physical event we've had yet, getting your heart rate under control to squeeze off good shots. We all kind of have a natural swing when it comes to, elevated heart rate, so you just kind of get that rhythm and then break the shot when it breaks through.
Where's the end point?
Once done, they were sweaty and tired, but they had no time to rest as their next event, a Kim's game, started at the end of the range and required them to memorize a series of items and recite them back immediately. For Miller and Ivkov, this was a breeze, and they secured one of the highest scores overall.
Some luxury items that most people may not be bringing. A hammock. Absolutely got to have a hammock.
Unfortunately for Ivkov, he never managed to get to use that hammock, but he and Miller regularly took naps to combat the fatigue of the long hours and rigorous events. They had gotten up at 4 that morning for land nav, and even though they had finished Heartbreaker after 6 p.m., they weren't done for the day quite yet. They still had one more event that required waiting until it was completely dark, the night range estimation. For most of the soldiers present, including Miller and Ivkov, this was a straightforward challenge to use their night optics and infrared sights to dial in and hit a target.
Hold on. Makeup. Hair. You're good. I was getting ready to do a night range estimation event. So we're setting up our night vision devices on our spine scope and weapon systems. We're going to have to mill the targets with the reticle in our scope and do some sniper math and figure out the range in meters then. And then we're going to have to engage one of those targets based off of the range that we measure.
But if you're having problems with this, for whatever reason,
I'm going to speak up.
Speak up, swap systems.
Okay, I'm gonna bring this in.
All right, gentlemen, I'll give you 1 more minute to get comfortable and in position. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3.
Yeah, I got 9.
After a short night's rest, Day 2 started with another physical event, a 2-mile run in under 16 minutes in uniform and combat boots.
You ain't gonna make it. I'm waiting on him.
Normally, such a deadline for these elite soldiers would have been easy, but the added weight combined with a rigorous set of events from the day before proved unattainable for some teams, including Colorado's team who missed the deadline by seconds. The unfortunate effect of missing the 16-minute time frame was that it made them ineligible to compete in the second half of the event, the obstacle course. For Miller and Ivkov, this meant losing easy points that went on to hurt them in the final team rankings. After a short breakfast, they entered their next event, the 360-degree target detection. Like the Kim's game the day before, the event tested the sniper's ability to identify items that could make or break a mission. While the Kim's game was a straightforward walk-by of items, here the soldiers were given a 3-story building to navigate and examine the surrounding sites to seek out and identify high-interest items. Ivkov and Miller's teamwork, attention to detail, and communication proved extremely helpful, and once again they achieved one of the highest scores for the event.
3, 2, 1, go!
So we're gonna have 30 minutes to observe around the town looking for 20 military items. It's like a bayonet, patrol cap, grenade. They're typically smaller items and will be halfway hidden or in difficult to observe locations. Target detection. If you can observe a tiny detail far away or pick out what isn't supposed to be there, it can help you find the enemy before he finds you, help you find sign, or just help you develop a situation for a commander to perform reconnaissance. Let me look at it.
You try to look at it. I'll try to locate some more.
They use the shadows to their advantage. The biggest thing I think, other than just like actual target detection, is thinking about where humans are going to put stuff. You know what I mean? We all kind of think alike. When I'm looking around, that's kind of like, where would I hide something? That's where I start looking.
So yeah, we thought this was a hammer or a stake. It wasn't one of the items. So no go there, but Ivkov nailed all the admin data, and we have all correct locations, so no mistakes, which is good.
From there, the team moved on to another series of marksmanship events, including one that required shooting from the top level of a 3-story building and working their way down to the ground level where they had 10 rounds to clear 10 targets with a handgun.
There's going to be some very funky alternate positions we're going to have to shoot. So we're just going to have to communicate effectively and efficiently, get into positions with our tripods or using what's inside to get stable, and then we're going to try to rush out and clean this pistol rack that's outside here.
Despite hitting 9 out of the 10 targets, Miller and Ivkov received 0 points for the handgun portion of the event due to the all-or-nothing grading system enacted for the year. The day ended on a good note for the team with an event they practice often.
We're going to shoot paper, spotter is, and he's got to talk his shooter onto the equivalent sheet of paper downrange. I cannot show the shooter what is on the paper or the actual targets you're supposed to hit. So we have to come up with a dialogue or a way to communicate.
3, 2, 1, begin.
All right, if looking at the top left of the target, there's a little triangular sliver. It's like a vertical right to left. Okay, touching that little triangular sliver, send that in. Okay, good. Okay, last one. To the right, there's a diamond.
Got it.
Send it. We did super good there. Aced it.
We got that one, boys.
Yeah, got that one.
Day 2 concluded early so that the snipers could get a good night's rest. This was because they had to get up early the following morning for one of the most difficult events of the entire competition, Red Ant. What made this event so difficult was that it tested the snipers' physical strength, marksmanship, and critical thinking. This event was unique as it was the only event where the soldiers had the opportunity to play a loophole to their advantage to secure a higher score.
Trish and I are thinking this is going to be one of those examples of in competition where you can kind of game it in your favor. It may not be exactly what the cadre intended us to do, but because of the verbiage of the brief, we can do certain things to manipulate the rules of this event to our advantage. So we're supposed to move a casualty perpendicular down the range. Tactically, we'd want to be putting down suppressive fire on targets. Competition's sake, I think we're just going to try to run the casualty all the way to the end first, then come back and take our time engaging the targets because we have a 10-minute time limit for this.
You know what I think 4 more years in the Corps are getting?
Bullets.
Yeah. I got it.
Well, I know you got it, by the way. Yeah, I wasn't involved in anything. Come on.
All right, you both have to be at the truck with all of your equipment, and the casualty has to be loaded to call time.
Although their plan was sound, 2 things went wrong. The first was that Ivkov changed the plan mid-course. This was because he found a stable and secure shooting position further away from the finish line and felt that he could better engage the targets from this position.
I'm gonna keep engaging from here.
Okay.
Can you get him there?
Yeah.
Unfortunately, Ivkov's on-the-spot decision forced Miller to run substantially further than originally intended and made Miller significantly more tired when it was his turn to engage their targets.
Let's get to the truck. And what's your time? I did too.
The second misfortune occurred when both of the team members' timers stopped in the middle of the event. This caused them to rush at the end and miss out on otherwise easy points.
You don't have time?
No.
All right, time. Max, get back here. How much time do we have?
Did 8:29.
However, despite their mid-course setbacks, they still secured one of the highest scores for the event.
What was the vantage point looking like for the targets over here, though?
I can see everything. That's why I stay there. Like
I believe you can see everything. It looked like a good spot. It's just like I had to move.
Although the team came in 7th overall, they were pleased with their results as the only teams to beat them were Special Forces or Ranger units.
So overall, being in the top 10 at number 7 is great, and all the teams that beat us were all special operation teams. So the company that we're with is great to see.
So today I'll try to give you guys some tips and tricks and some pointers on how to shoot a carbine a little bit more effectively.
Back home, the state was eager for the soldiers to return so that they could complete one of the most important reasons for going to the competition, to share the knowledge with their teams. Both the All-Army team and the best sniper crew possess a valuable commodity for the state, humility. Their humble side and passion for the craft lets them share their knowledge in such a way that even the most junior soldier doesn't feel intimidated and can improve their abilities as well.
A montage of me closing my rec lid and send it to me. Just like bang, 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 bang. Preferably some cool 80s music.
Cut.